What do
Yeah.
we think for bans, guys? I know Seku doesn't really want to play into Scion.
Yeah, I'm saying it's probably a Scion ban from Seku, and I want to say it's probably the Lulu Zed Poppy ban
I think so. I think that Lulu Zed
from
Poppy
Black Boss. Yeah,
really destroys Plunder. Um, like it's not a close matchup. It's heavily favored in the rally, uh, towards the rally deck. So I think that banning that would make a lot of sense, especially if you have the read that Seku's gonna ban Scion, which I think is pretty safe considering he banned it the last series.
yeah, and Seku here, as we can see, starts up with Sivirakshan versus the Nab deck.
And this is not looking like a very hot start for Seku. No 1-drop, no 2-drop. Finds
Oh,
Akshan though.
good
Yeah.
So maybe
players
save.
always draw Akshan on curve, but just take a peek at the Black Boss's hand. That is an awful lot of swarm in the early game. He has a 6 white attack on turn number 3. It's a little intimidating. Oh, he's not going to develop. Probably worried about like a Bright Seal or something, but um it's still a very strong opening here from the Black Boss means that, getting this early damage in matters a lot in this matchup.
Yeah, this is the kind of opener you want to see if you're the Black Boss. As we talked a little bit about earlier, it's kind of debated whether or not this is actually favored for Plunder. But with a hand like this, it certainly looks. This is what you want to see if you want it to be favored. Swarming out, building a wider board than your opponent, being able to push early damage and then close out with GP is exactly what this deck wants to do.
Yeah, and with that swing there, we got double plunder procs here, so he's going to be able to nab a card and get a free
Oh,
free.
a
And the
And
following turn, he's going to be
oh,
able to nab another card.
but the free 0 mana uh treasure seeker is actually so good. It's providing you a card in hand, it's giving you refill. You're happy to trade down your board now because you're almost certainly having more units in your hand than Seku will. So it's pretty massive here. What's funny is this isn't even a bad hand for Sivir Akshon. This is a pretty okay hand. You kind of whiffed on 1-drops, but otherwise it's pretty okay. But I don't know, you're still in a really bad position right now.
Oh, and he steals the Bright
Oh my
Steel.
god.
this
Another
is
crazy card.
wow. All this value coming out of these nabs from the Black Boss is going to make it very, very difficult for
Yeah,
Seku to
and
find.
next turn, he's probably going to be able to grab another.
Yeah,
Nab was a mistake. You can't convince me otherwise. What is this? All of these cards are so good. Quit stealing the cards. They're not yours. Oh, look
Yeah,
like.
opting to go for the full swing here. Okay, not going for the nab just yet.
Yeah. I think that the full swing here can make a lot of sense. You just trade down the board. You are kind of turbo leveling Sivir, which could be an issue. Um, but overall, I don't hate this. Kind of cute from Seku. You can sharp sight one of your units. It'll flip Akshan and keep both of them alive, which could be pretty good here.
could also just let it go and play the second Akshan
So
out
actually,
of your hand.
I
I
like
thought
flipping it because you can grappling hook afterwards.
true.
Yeah,
I thought for half a second, and now I hate this attack. What if we had Radiant Guardian?
yeah,
Yeah,
Like, what
yeah.
if we had a Radiant
What
Guardian?
what if we had Radiant Guardian? There's no harpoon in hand to deal with it or start to deal with it. It's kind of a
Uh,
sketchy attack coming out from the Black Boss's side, but
yeah, but
Radiant Guardian
you,
isn't
you you
real.
can't really respect it at this
no,
state, right? Like, look at your hand.
no, you have to just put the pedal on, hit the pedal, put the pedal on the gas, and I can't talk,
Well,
and
so
just shove.
I think the play is you could develop, right? I think developing at least once gives you, at minimum, a better swing here because if your opponent has Radiant, then they can't
Pass.
develop in response, right?
Yeah,
And that's kind of a dead read. And maybe you could play around it. You at least push a little bit more damage. But with this swing, Never Punished is able to trade down the board and has a lot of units left in hand. Ooh, that pass. Wants to take Seku's mana. That is a pass. You have so much to like refill your board with, but wanting to apply pressure on Seku maybe. Wow.
I'm not sure how much that pass actually accomplishes. Seku does want to be developing here anyways, and you're not. It's not like you're saving mana for specific tricks. Maybe he's just trying to see what Seku does so he can decide which cards he wants to play out of his own hand. Wow. And then another excellent early drop pulled off of Seku's deck.
Yeah, and still no Radiant Guardian from the side of Seku coming up. Yeah, just another tracker. But he BlackBoss finds the Gangplank, so he found one of his champs, and I assume it's like pretty close to leveled.
Why does this
It
guy
is at
have
3 out
10
of 5.
cards in his hand?
Okay.
Why does the aggro deck have 10 cards in their hand? Why is this okay?
I don't know. Why don't you ask Vandal City Mayor?
Yeah.
True. Mr. Mayor's a little broken, huh?
So,
But Seku can set up a pretty strong attack here, right?
yeah, he has enough mana for Fleet Feather Tracker, Sivir, and Cataclysm.
Yeah.
So he can potentially deal with the GP if BlackBoss does decide to play that down this turn. Doesn't need to keep the concerted mana available.
I think it's interesting though. The Black Boss has saved these warning shots. You could be dropping like a flipped Gangplank right now. I think we missed like one proc, and then we could flip it this turn. But it's been really conservative with holding on to them. Perhaps, playing for like a Sejuani later on, and wanting to have the way to consistently freeze up the Sivir.
Yeah,
Right,
so
Steel. Go ahead.
the Bright Steel. Yeah, the Bright Steel coming down. Gonna give good block on Sivir.
Bright Steel's kind of broken, huh?
Yeah, barrier
Yeah.
kind of broken.
Why does this card only cost 1 mana? That's kind of weird, huh?
Black Market Merchant.
Kind of a good card.
I subscribed, apparently.
Pog?
Wow. Thanks for the gifted sub.
Milk just gifted 5? Holy shit, thank you so much, Milk.
Milk's a gamer?
Coming down. Bark Beast. Another interesting hit there.
Wow. This is... Yeah, I don't know what Seku can really do here. If he had played the Fleet Feather Tracker first before the Sivir, he may have had better potential pulls and a better attack this turn, but now he's kind of stuck.
I don't think he's in too bad of a spot. He does have like an answer to Gangplank, and he has a Cataclysm as well.
He's not doomed. He's definitely not doomed, but it's not looking great either.
I find that a bit interesting that he let the parlay go but didn't use the Cataclysm. I don't know what he'd be banking the mana for, so he can... I mean, this turn he can Concerted Cataclysm and Sharp Sight.
I mean, we're still going down to 3 here. Do we have to Concerted a 3-2? Is that our line? This is not a great place to be, especially since we see a couple warning shots face up, and then there is the one that's hidden in the Black Boss's hand. It's not a great position here for Seku.
No, it's not. He really cannot afford to take any damage here.
Yeah, and that's why I liked the Cataclysm last turn, was just kind of to stem the bleeding, you know?
Mm-hmm. Or even the Sharp Sight just to deny the 1 damage and keep your tracker alive, right?
Yeah. But I guess Seku did not want any more developments out of BlackBoss, so that might be why he didn't do that. So I'm sure he's debating the Concerted here.
And we obviously know he has to take it.
Yeah. It's such a
Those are the
rough
Sharp
call.
Sight.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Game
lethal.
1.
Yeah.
Wow. That's such a rough position to be in, because if you are concerting a 3-2, how bad does that feel? Wait, we're at 4 now? Oh, we swapped our blocks. Never mind, we're fine. We're fine.
Gangplank Barrel. Gangplank Barrel.
Gangplank isn't real.
Yeah, it can't hurt you.
Why are barrels real? That's messed up, man.
Yeah. Why do they have souls? Kind of crazy.
So, game 1 of does end up going to the Black Boss. We'll see if Seku can bring it around in game 2. This was kind of to be expected.
Is it because they have monkeys inside? Is that why? Like powder monkeys?
That's actually exactly why.
Wait, that's so depressing. I don't...
It's okay.
Is it okay?
It's okay. Triple warning shot, burst lethal. Don't you love to see it?
Yeah.
To see it.
Feels bad for poor Seku. Just an insane start there from the Black Boss. Landed literally every single thing that they could want from their early drops and just pushed so much damage. Really well played there. And And now
Yeah,
the
and now
mirror.
we got the mirror. And Black Boss is the one who has that nice tech of the prismatic barrier in it.
Yes, he is. That tech should be very, very important in this mirror. We talked a little bit about it earlier, but Sivir does have a hard time dealing with barriers. So being able to have a barrier available at burst speed for only 3 mana means that you should almost always be able to protect your Sivir.
Yeah, and Seku also with the tech Quicksand, so we'll see which one gets drawn and wins out.
Yeah,
I
Quicksand can be good in this matchup, but it's hard because the person you opt to win a Quicksand is the one person with the spell shield. So you already have to have another spell to pop it. It's just,
Yep.
it's much better against like Scion and like Lurk, I think are the really big ones where Quicksand can shine. But, this matchup, it's just not ideal, I don't think.
So no action from either player, no chance from either player yet. Seku going for the pass here.
Yeah. Interesting though, we can see in the hand of the Black Boss, they are running the Vanguard Sergeant, which is a pretty recent addition to these decks. It got buffed. It's a pretty big body. It's a 3/4 that generates a card in hand. The card in hand doesn't matter that much most of the time, but on occasion can. Um, but more importantly, it just kind of usually trades up, right? It's difficult to trade 1-for-1 into a 3/4 on turn 3.
Yeah, the stats are really what make it well. The 4 Demacia generates is actually not too bad either. It has quite a few uses. It can make your Absolver returns a lot better. It can make your wider boards, say you just have a board of Treasure Seekers and maybe Trackers, it
Hmm.
makes them a lot more threatening. And it's also like an aloof protection, protects your Sivir or Bruisers from aloof.
Yeah. But here it'll be interesting to see how how Seku decides to approach this turn. I think that the Treasure Seeker as like a soft pass is really good here. You're still holding up Merciless mana, so your opponent's not allowed to play out Sivir. We can see that the Black Boss doesn't have Sivir, but I like this as a play.
Yeah. Passing the priority with just a 1-drop, holding up mana for even Brightsteel if needed, kind of really sets it up here. If on Black Boss's side, he also has a Merciless, so I wonder if he's going to commit one of them just to kind of, fill his board, or is he fine with a pass here?
I like the pass. I think the pass makes a lot of sense. You're telling your opponent, I have Sivir, you're not allowed to attack here. If you attack, you are going to lose this turn at least. Not like lose the game, but this turn's not great for you.
Yeah, and Seku here has to take the pass back simply because he doesn't want to see Sivir developed if he commits any more mana.
Yeah, one thing though is that Seku, we've talked about this mirror a couple times. That palace is very helpful. That's how you continue to draw, your win cons, the Sivir if you don't find it, the auction. Having those vagabonds is really important here and helps out with passes like that where, it might feel bad passing, but you have this landmark that's ticking down constantly, that your opponent doesn't have. So you're down to just pass for 6 turns if you want.
Yeah, and again, same position from both players, I think. Do you commit your mana on the Merciless, or do you hold it more for the Sivir? And we see Black Boss goes for the Merciless on the Tracker. Probably wants to just get rid of that challenger threat there.
Yeah, I think we might see a Bright Steel come out here just to protect the 2/1, shut down the turn, and then, you can continue on with playing down your Vagabond. Oh,
Yeah.
looks
Oh, so
like
he
we're
goes for the
happy to.
Vagabond first. So I think he's going to save the Bright Steel for the Merciless, whatever he's going to get vulnerable to.
Okay, I think that could make sense. Bright Steel is just such an incredibly good card, not only in this deck, but especially in these matchups, because these matchups, you want to develop a lot of times, and having a 2 mana barrier that just stops your opponent's attack forever is just really, really difficult to play around.
Yeah. And we see the Sharp Sight come out from BlackBoss to save the Vanguard Sergeant from the tracker with the Shapestone.
But once again, so it looks bad because Seku committed a spell and it didn't come out well for him. But his spell is still ticking down this palace, right? That whereas Black Boss just spent a spell and he got nothing back from it. He's never going to get anything back from it, which
Yeah,
could
and
be pretty impactful.
Yeah, and Seku opting to use the Waking Sands here just to push a little bit more damage. And then a straight pass from Black Boss's side.
Yeah, I think
Probably trying to get the Vagabond out. No, Vakurian Bruiser out.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the big thing here is that 5-2 increases your Sivir level up, but perhaps more importantly, you can get a Radiant Guardian down now.
Yeah.
Exactly. The 5-2 guarantees that you can get this Radiant Guardian down activated. If the Black Boss did decide to take some 5-head play of not blocking your units there to avoid that, the Waking Sands stops that in its tracks.
Yeah, and there is a Sivir drawn for Seku. The landmark's at 1. He could pop it with the Bright Steel now.
And he definitely will, just because he doesn't want to let this Radiant get free traded by the Bruiser.
Yeah, with the tough at least, it's not. There would have to be a spell committed if nothing else, but still, a spell you don't have any combat tricks to respond with, so pretty not great position for you if they were to go for it. Interesting decision here. Both of these are really good options, I think. And you'd prefer to have like an Absolver or something, but like matching Bruisers for value is really good, or just having a Sharp Sight so that you have a combat trick in a hand that's otherwise devoid of them, I think can be really good.
Do you ever just skip to try and find something even better?
Oh, apparently we do. And hit third Bright Steel.
Those were two good options, sure, but what we really want to be finding here is a Rally or an Akshan, right?
Rally, Akshan, or Absolver is like basically ideal.
The Bruiser is not winning us the game in that position.
Bruiser's a house, man.
Oh, for sure. But he's not winning the game in that position.
Yeah, he's not actively winning the game. He's doing his best though, he's out
absolutely.
here.
Absolutely. He's trying, but
yeah.
That's not what you really need in this position if you're Seku. You need something a little bit more potent to try and get you over that finish line.
Yeah. And
he finds the Absolver.
And the Black Boss finds his own Radiant Guardian.
Yeah, which could be pretty impactful. One big thing here is that Sivir can and probably will flip this turn, but won't flip in time to actually be able to use the Absolver, right? So this Bright Steel, though, kind of makes you feel bad for developing your 5-2 that can only attack on this turn.
It certainly does. He could always just pull the Bruiser to the 5-2 and then attack with the rest of his units. I don't know how close the Sivir is to leveling.
It's at 19 right now.
Yeah,
19.
But I don't think you want to pull the Bruiser just because of the strike will give him a lucky find.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was important to push damage at this point, but I guess not. You're good to just kind of stall out, delay, wait until you find a rally, and try and kill them with one big pressure turn.
Bird, once again, probably gets shut down by a Bright Steel. Ooh, we're holding on to the Bright Steel. I'm just worried about them throwing the 5-5 in. Well, God, Bright Steel's kind of a good card, huh?
So now we have to Bright Steel. Seku has to Bright Steel his own Bruiser, right?
We're Bright Stealing Radiant here, I suppose, just to make sure that they don't get a favorable trade. But
Yeah,
this does
he
make it
can-
kind of awkward to match their Bruiser, because they can send the Fleet Feather Tracker into an or Waking Sands. Like, there's a lot of options here.
Yeah, because I think he's going for a big 4 Demacia play here to just trade up nicely.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's the whole
call.
point. Yeah. And then right
Wow.
now, Seku doesn't need to commit the other Bright Steel yet until he sees that 4 Demacia played.
That is true.
I don't know. This attack still seems pretty bad if he just like rips it off here. It feels like it's bad for Seku.
It does. Seku definitely has to just take 5 here.
You're not allowed to block the bruiser, but giving the bruiser value while you yourself, have to put your own bruiser in harm's way. And once again, you're behind in mana and you don't have any combat tricks. You didn't take the sharp side earlier. So it's a rough position to be in. These Demacia mirrors, oftentimes, if you just have less mana, you're in such a rough position on these attacks. But, ooh, the Black Boss is actually going to commit to the 4 Demacia.
This should let
Yeah.
him completely trade down Seku's board.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of BlackBoss's, only good kind of chance to, trade down the board efficiently here. Because even though the attack before was pretty good, it wasn't doing much. It was just putting Seku down to 7, and Seku would still have his Radiant Guardian afterwards.
Yeah, I think that this play makes a lot of sense. He's definitely getting board control, right? Because none of these little guys are trading evenly. Though Seku still has the Bruiser, still has a Radiant Guardian, still has a Sivir in hand. Both Sivers are going to be leveled this turn, which definitely can matter since we have the Absolver. Seku, it's a little bit rough right now, but opting to take a little bit of damage to maintain as much of a board as possible and potentially push lethal next turn.
Yeah, and this is a great play from Seku, recognizing that he still needs his board in order to present his own lethal on the swing. And with him keeping the Radiant Guardian, he's fine to go down as low, really.
Yeah, no, he should be pretty fine here. Especially since the Black Boss tap below like any sort of a Cataclysm or a single combat, right? So you're not too worried about the situation. But oh, what a
Oh
top
my
Finds the
deck!
god.
rally.
Oh
He
my
has enough mana to
god!
play everything. Oh, both of them top deck the rally.
What a
Wow.
I mean, and the rally on the opposite side is really good too because it sort of makes this attack really awkward for Seku. You could rally here onto your Bruiser. Seku looks for the lethal. Does he have it? It's so
I-
close.
Might.
Maybe you play out the 5-2 instead? Oh, it looks like we are going for the rally line. Oof. This is going to be really close. I think he might just have lethal right here.
It's very close indeed.
We show lethal, so opponent has to commit blocks.
Yeah, it is lethal,
It looks super lethal.
Opponent.
right? With the
So this
overwhelm
is
over
10,
everything.
19 damage. They only have 5 toughness, and we're showing 23 overwhelm. So that's 18 damage. I think that we're going to game number 3. We don't
Certainly
even
seems
need the
that way.
rally. Is there anything?
He could play his own absolvers.
I don't think that the Black Boss has flipped a champion this turn or this game. So
Yeah, he
they're
He
just
hasn't.
plus
hasn't. He can
ones.
just play it for the +1. Yeah, the +1.
But I don't think it's enough.
I don't think so either.
Let me count again. We have 10, 19 attack, plus 4 from Absolvers, 23. Only 5 toughness stopping it is 18. Even with the extra 2, that's still 16 damage. We don't even need the
Or-
rally.
Yeah, it's lethal here with the Absolver.
Wow. And
What a
Seku
game.
taking the smart blocks on the last turn to maintain as much of his board as possible. Plays for the out, plays for the lethal, and -3 here is going to be able to pick up game number 2, tie us up, and take us to the last game of the finals. Wow. So it's going to be a really close game here, and already an okay start out here from Seku. I know 1 drops, right? But you do have 2 drops out the Awazu. Oh no! You're never supposed to develop into the pass. Oh. Black Boss getting hard punished by the parlay. Feels bad, man.
Seku's just going to be able to set up a full board of Marai Wardens over
Yeah.
the next couple turns. This has the potential
Okay.
to be a little bit crazy.
Yeah, and the Black Boss kind of gave up his only play before turn 4, meaning that he doesn't have a response to a develop here. Oh, and
He
Seku
might
goes
just
for the
have-
develop.
Wow.
Wow.
Black Boss might be forced into a Waking Sands here. Yeah.
Wow, just to save 2 health.
And now if you're Seku, you just push through this anyways. You don't care enough.
Yeah, your
Black Boss
opponent
could
just
even
told you
save
that their
some more
hand
by
is
single
awful.
combating.
True.
But I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he'd take that.
No, not with the Bruiser in hand. That's not worth it. The Waking Sands was a free card. You can afford to throw that out.
Oh, this double up is pretty spicy.
It is pretty spicy. So there's a couple options here. We can go red card, we can go blue card. Gold card is worthless. I think I would like to see a red card because that gives you your Gangplank proc as well. It removes the spell shield.
I think the other option is you could pokey face and then play another Marai Warden and just go super wide. I don't know if it's
I
correct,
like going
but
wide.
it's so rough. So the other thing is that you ideally don't have anything with 3 attack on your board because you want to swing next turn. Don't let him trade off his Sivir, because if he trades off his Sivir and plays down a Radiant Guardian, all of this work is for naught. Oh, and we actually popped the spell
Seku's
shield.
gonna
Gold
avoid
card?
that by gold carding.
Oh,
No,
wow.
I think he might be setting up for a double up. No?
It is just the gold
Okay, so he
card.
goes for the gold card.
Yeah, he's just gonna avoid the
This,
Radiant Guardian.
This ricochet is pretty pretty funny.
This
if
is
he goes
so
for it.
much damage. The ricochet, if it hits all the 1-drop or the X1s, that could be so big. Is that the
The
line?
thing is, if it doesn't, then the game's kind of over.
Yeah, but
Oof.
if you take
But
this
there's
damage,
so many targets.
this is 12 damage right here on board right now that you have to respond to. You can
But what if
develop
it all goes
one and
face?
single, but it's so. I mean,
Yeah, there's a chance it all goes face, or
What if
maybe
it all goes
one on
face?
TF and one on the soldier, and
Yeah.
both
Oh.
face.
the issue is if you don't do it, how are you winning this game? Oh, is that the line? It's so hard to say. Because, like, you could Bright Steel and single from Sivir, and then you're only taking 8. You know, you're down to 5 HP. Oh,
I think
the ricochet. Oh!
Oh, it comes out.
Oh!
This is
Oh
it.
my god.
What's it gonna hit?
Where's it go?
Oh, it only killed
Oh!
1!
Actually, good.
Oh, killed,
okay, kill TF
killed
too.
TF.
So that's
Okay.
Okay. That was.
It literally did the exact same thing as Bright Steel plus single. It just... Maybe we top deck another Shiver and we can just rip it again.
Oh, this Gangplank top.
Unreal.
Oh, wow. No matter what, this double up is going to be so huge potentially. It's so hard against Demacia because Demacia runs so many combat tricks. They can single to, suicide their unit. That way it doesn't get the Nexus damage, but it's just... Oh, this is such a hard position. Black Boss fighting uphill here to try to regain board control. Seku had such a strong start.
Yeah, and we see Black Boss has a couple of good answers to the double up, like single and sharp sight, maybe even Absolver if needed.
Yeah.
And from Seku's side, I'd like to see maybe just a Stone Stackers played as kind of a pass. I don't know if we're going to get Gangplank. Well, you can't play Gangplank. Well, I mean, you could play it now. The barrel's just going to die off for free.
I kind of like draw 2 pass.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say the exact same thing.
Oh, sorry.
Just your option. No, don't apologize. That's what we're here for. The draw option it just opens up your lines a lot more. You still have mana available for anything else in your current hand, and it might potentially give you better options.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it does. I just like
Wow.
the having mana for double up still, in case I wanted to go for it.
Ooh.
You still have
Okay.
double up mana available with this line.
Yeah, but you don't get to develop afterwards, right? Or wider.
I think
Yeah.
you just pass here. I think that the
Yeah,
Black Boss
I like the
has
pass.
to make something happen here.
Or this is okay too, I guess. Start developing the crack shots.
Yeah, I think I would double develop crack shots and
Stone
probably a
Stackers
stone stacker.
and just like open attack.
Yeah,
Where's your one of judgment, Black Boss? Come on.
come on, bro. Just manifest it.
Yeah, just where's your telescope?
Is there a lucky find that gives like board wipe?
Oh, this is such a rough position for the Black Boss to be in.
Hey, but if he finds a rally, this game could suddenly be turned around real quick.
True. He needs to survive through the next turn first. He has some strike spells, so
let's
he has
see.
options for it.
Because next turn... Okay, there's a
Okay.
single.
I think this makes sense.
Now,
I
do you
mean-
develop the keg?
Yeah, it's deckhand here because that's going to push more damage, I think. Oh, not interested.
He's
Interesting.
banking the mana for the double up. Ooh,
He-
Does that mean we're
yeah.
playing Gangplank here?
It means that we're going to attempt to
Yeah.
play Gangplank.
The concerted strike here is just such a good answer and potentially is enough to get the Black Boss a bit more out tempo in this game.
But if he does go for that concerted strike, he's tapping out of mana for buffs, and the double up is going to be able to kill the Sivir out from under him.
He only has
Yeah,
one buff, right? Or he has mana for one buff still, which is not enough against the keg. You're right. He loses the game.
The thing is too, if he buffs, he's gonna lose his units here too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna commit the concerted, and then the kegged up double up is gonna be enough. It just does 5 damage.
Yeah. Seku navigated this game very, very well.
So can this lose out to anything? It would have to be exactly Sharp Sight and Shapestone, right?
Yeah, sharp plus
second
shape.
single combat.
Oh, true.
Which Black Boss is only on 1, so.
Yeah,
Oh
so-
my god. And he's pointing it. Is he gonna rip it? Oh!
He did it! And Seku takes it
Seku!
home! That's it! That's a lock! Game's done!
What a line! Deciding not to go wide, instead just developing the gangplank, knowing that he had the double up back up.
From Black Boss. Seku takes it all.
Oh wow.
Recognizing that the double up was his out, recognizing that the only way for Black Boss to deal with the gangplank was deal with the gangplank efficiently was a concerted strike, and that would tap him out of mana for the rest of his combat tricks, letting the double up go through and find the lethal. Just so well done by Seku to take that W over Black Boss in the finals. What a great set. I had a great time watching that.